After a year of playing Minesweeper, I got bored and downloaded 9 games on Steam. Okay, so I get that the gag is like writing a meaningful review of a game that's just like completely pointless, but Ben's World is on a whole nother level of pointlessness. Like, I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. Fuck it, blank slate. Take note of the emotions you experience when I tell you to paint a mental picture of what it must feel like to be the only black man in a crowded Cracker Barrel during breakfast hours. If you pictured yourself feeling estranged, tense, or even terrified at the sight of the horrific staleness that surrounds you, then congratulations, you now know how it feels to play Ben's World. As made abundantly clear by the title, Ben's World was made by Ben for Ben. The whimsical landscapes and wondrous sights to behold contain untold pleasures sought by many but only revealed to one Ben, the almighty creator of these lands. As I begin my journey through each chapter in the unspoken, handcrafted story of Ben, I was made aware by the oversized wildlife that I was not welcome in this place, likely because I am not Ben. Every creature I encountered, from the 8-foot zebras to this free asset off the Unreal Engine store, seemed to engulf me with an intoxicatingly repulsive air of passive-aggressive hostility so thick one could cut it with a knife. This abrasive inhospitality that plagued my conscience is what seemed to usher me along through these alien worlds, stopping only occasionally to collect these stars of no tangible value other than a counter in the top right corner of the screen. After what felt like an eternity of drifting through the harsh folds in this page of Ben's reality, I reached the final realm, the museum. The museum is entirely separate from the rest of the areas in the game in that it doesn't appear to serve Ben, but rather document and showcase him for the rare visiting strangers such as myself. There is no wildlife to shun me, nor are there any walls for me to run on. There are no visually treacherous elements lacking any effect on the world around them either. I was left alone to admire more free assets and a few photographs of what I can only presume to be Ben and his owner. 3 out of 10.
My name is not important. What is important is what I'm going to do. I just fucking hate this world, and these human worms feasting on its carcass. My whole life is just cold, bitter hatred, and I always wanted to die violently. This is the time of vengeance, and no life is worth saving. And I will put in the grave as many as I can. It's time for me to kill. And it's time for me to die.
Ten la voz zapiczona, הדברים גיור מלא כלים מעציצים נובלים הזמן לא מתחשב באסימונים שנופלים סופם של רוב המסקנות הם החלטות ללא ביצוע מנסה להילחם בזה באופן די קבוע אדרנלין באופק נותן סיבה לדופק ככה זה אצלי באופי צער וסיפוק זה בזה שלובים שתים לעברך כמו גלים גלים אתה יכול להתעלם יכול להילחם
Years.
That's some serious sperm.
Yeah. Tortoise
That's
sperm. Slow and steady.
Serious sperm. What? God damn. What longevity?
Yeah.
You know?
Amazing.
Okay, folks, it's that time of the week again, and I need some good stories because our numbers are dropping fast. What you got for me?
Here, I got one. It's about that new Smuck Studios movie. Just listen to this. From the studio that brought you Seaman.
Hold it right there. They haven't even finished the first film yet. How the fuck are they supposed to come out with another one? Come on, guys. I need a real story, not just some entertainment industry bullshit.
How about the truth behind the fall of the CCP?
Fuck it. Sounds like the best story we got so far. Just don't disappoint me again, okay?
Yes, sir.
Ay, tu primo colorado con barba camburada y llena de ballena inclinándose al sol de un rayo de luz roja besando nuestra boca el beso que te sopla huele a alcohol tus tres ojos lunares extraterrestriales entran cuando salen por eso no se ve nada de tu barba colorada
Survival is one of the most saturated genres in video game history, which makes it hard for low-budget developers to make games flashy enough to be seen by the masses. But there are a few developers that ditch the flashiness and high-fidelity graphics in order to make something special. An unpolished gem, a diamond in the rough. It's just a matter of digging deep enough to find them. I make these videos to introduce you to games you wouldn't see on the front page of any store. Games you have to dig for. Welcome to Radiation Island. Okay, maybe I overhyped it just a little bit, but it's still a good game. Radiation Island is developed and published by Atypical Games, and it was released on iOS in 2015. Although originally intended for mobile, Atypical Games decided to make a PC port and released it on Steam in 2016. Honestly, this game isn't that hard to find on iOS, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have already heard of the mobile version. But on the PC market, Radiation Island hasn't proven to be very successful. My theory is that due to its subpar marketing and weak graphics, this game was overshadowed by other titles in the highly competitive survival game market.
It seems to me that most of you are
One can argue that the purpose of a video game is to create a world that the player can immerse themselves in. The scale of that world can range from a small arcade arena to a massive open world rich with story. When you strip these games of all their unique elements, you can easily separate them into two different categories. Those that immerse players in their world through distraction and shallow interaction, and those who immerse their players by having them live through a character, experiencing the game's world through that character's eyes. I will refer to these types as shallow and deep, respectively. An easy example of what I would consider a shallow game is Pac-Man. When a player immerses themselves in a game of Pac-Man, they're effectively just being distracted from the world around them. When Tim plays Pac-Man, he isn't living as Pac-Man, he's living as Tim, playing Pac-Man.
Behold, I am Pac-Man!
Okay, maybe Tim is a bad example, but you get my point. There's only one level of immersion happening here. Another game I'd consider shallow is Counter-Strike. It's kind of a big jump from Pac-Man, but my point still holds up. When you play CSGO, you're not living as generic terrorist number 6, you're still you. You don't truly think about the consequences of your actions beyond the direct outcomes. You either win or lose, hit or miss, die or don't. I'm not saying shallow games aren't fun. Tim clearly enjoys Pac-Man, and I play quite a bit of CSGO. I'm just saying their immersion only goes one level deep. You can think of it as flying a drone. You don't want to crash the drone because you'd be losing a very expensive item. Now compare that to flying a plane. The reason you don't want to crash the plane is because crashing the plane means crashing you with it. When it comes to being deep, you're looking for immersion that goes beyond one dimension. Imagine you're walking out of the theater after just watching a really good movie, and you can't help but imagine what it would be like if you were the main character. When you play a deep game, you're living as someone else. You think beyond winning or losing. An example of one of these games is the